Good morning. Myself Ashaila Devi, Assistant Professor in Rogani College of Engineering and Technology. Today we are going to discuss about the subject CS3391 Object Oriented Programming. In this subject, today we are going to discuss about a topic interfaces. So what is the outcome of learning this particular topic is on successful completion of this module, the student should be able to write programs using interfaces. So now we are going to discuss about what is interface. An interface is a reference type in Java. So it is similar to a classes. It is a collection of abstract methods. So along with the abstract method, an interfaces may also contain constants, defaults method and static methods and nested types. So the method bodies exist only for the default methods and the static methods. So the main concept of an interface is it cannot be instantiated. That means we cannot create object for a interface. So next is an interface is similar to a class in some ways. For example, there is some similarities between the interfaces and classes. That is, an interface can contain any number of methods. That is both similar for class as well as for interfaces. An interface is written in a file with the extension of .java with the name of the interface matching the name of the file. For example, if you are creating an interface called interface student means the file name should be student.java. Next, the bytecode of an interface appears in a .class file. And the next important concept in an interface is the interfaces appears in packages and their corresponding bytecode file must be in a directory structure that matches the package name. So next, what is the use of interface? Since the Java does not support the multiple inheritance concept, so in an inheritance, Java, the only thing which will not support by Java is the multiple inheritance. So that can be achieved by using interfaces. So it is also used to achieve loose coupling, and also the interfaces are used to implement the abstraction concept. And what are the rules for abstract classes? The abstract classes are not interfaces, and abstract classes may have complete methods. And abstract classes may or may not have an abstract method, but if any class has one or more abstract methods, it must compulsorily labeled abstract. And the next important point in abstract classes, an abstract class can have constructor, member variables, and normal methods. And similarly, similar to interface, an abstract class also, it cannot be instantiated. Next is how we can define an interface. So if you want to define an interface means, normally if you want to create a class means the syntax is class space class name. Similarly, if you want to create an interface means the syntax is interface space interface name. Okay. So before that you have to give the access specifier. Either it's a public or private, or that we have to mention. Within that you have to mention the methods, variables and everything. So when no access specifier is included, then the default access specifier is taken. And here the basic about the interface is when we define this access specifier as public, the interface can be used by any other code. If you use it as a private thing means it cannot be used by other codes. The Java file must have the same name as interface. Normally, when you are creating an interface in a Java file, the Java file name and the interface name should be same. The methods that are declared have no bodies and they end with the semicolon after the parameter list. And they are also abstract methods. For abstract methods, we are not going to write the definitions inside that. So we are going to write the name of the method, the parameters list, and it ends with the semicolon. So this is an example interface. So we are creating an interface called animal. So how we can create the syntax is interface space interface name. So interface space animal. And what is the name of the file? The name of the file must be equal to the name of the interface. The name of the file is animal.java. Inside that you have to write the abstract method. As I have already told you, in an abstract method we are not going to write the definition here. Instead we are going to write the name of the method, as well as if there is any parameter means you have to mention that it should ends with semicolon. And how we can implement that in that interfaces within the class. So in inheritance, if you want to use inheritance concept means you have to use the concept of extends. If the subclass wants to use a superclass means it uses extends keyword. But if it wants to use as interfaces means you have to use implements. Okay, for inheriting a superclass, we have to use extends keyword. For inheriting an interface, you have to use implements keyword. So this is the syntax. So class name, extend superclass. So if it is an interface means you have to use extend superclass. If it is a class means you can use extends. If it is an interface means you have to use implements. And what are the rules? A class can implement more than one interface at a time. A class can extend only one class but can implement many interfaces. An interface can extend another interface in a similar way as a class can extend another class. Thank you.